Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things I'd do differently if I had the chance to start my business all over again from the beginning. If you're new here, my name is Lauren and I run an embroidery business called Pinkbird Originals. This YouTube channel has just passed 1,000 subscribers, and to say thank you for your participation and support, I've actually started running a giveaway on my Instagram. My Instagram is called pink_bird_originals, and I'll put the written name down in the description below. In this giveaway you have the chance to win a £50 voucher to spend on my store, or you have the chance to win a little goodie box of fun things which I've put together for you. It's really cool, so go check it out. Now with all that out of the way, let's start the video. I began embroidering in 2016, and in 2017 I registered my business with HMRC. And by Christmas 2018 I quit my job in Tesco's retail stores and I started working on my business full time. When I began, I was so eager just to get my products online that I'd take my photos and then immediately put them on my webpage or to social media. And the number one thing I regret not doing is watermarking my images. If you don't know what watermarking is when you draw something or you take a photo and then you write your logo over it or something that distinguishes it as your own image. And if you're wondering why this is important, I'll show you. So this is my Etsy page and I'm just going to click on my goldfish bag patch. This is my goldfish bag patch, that's my hand in the photo. I made the patch about 4 years ago and for a long time it was one of my best sellers. I was selling it for nearly £6. But now I'm just going to type goldfish bag patch into the Etsy search and we'll see what comes up. Oh, look at all these knockoff goldfish bag patches that people are buying off Alibaba and reselling. You could argue that in some of them the fish in the bag is a little bit different, but the lines on the bag are absolutely identical to my original design, and so it's very clear they ripped me off. And while a watermark might not have completely prevented this problem, I do believe it is a deterrent, and so from now on I watermark all of my images to stop them being stolen and used without my permission. Point number 2 has a few levels to it, but I'll try and explain it as best I can. Basically, it comes down to pricing your products correctly from the offset. In the United Kingdom, you don't have to register for VAT until your business starts turning over £85,000 or more annually. In my case, because I was so keen to get sales and because I didn't have to pay any tax to the government yet, I was pricing my products very cheaply. And by doing so, I was only actually harming my business and myself in the long run. It's better to price match with competition rather than undercut them. If these sellers are already selling their products at the price they're charging, then you're only doing yourself out of profit by trying to undercut them. Which brings me back to improper pricing. Let's start with some easy figures. If I was to buy a t-shirt and sell it on for £10, I'd make £5 profit. Probably sounds okay if you're just buying and selling blank t-shirts, but what if you're decorating it? And that decoration takes 20 minutes and costs £1. Then your business starts doing very well and you have to register for VAT, and VAT is 20% of that £10. So if you do the maths, and after the expenses, you can make 3 of these t-shirts in an hour, but that means you're only actually working for £6 an hour, which is disastrous for the amount of effort you put in. Okay, you could argue that if you did have to register for VAT, you just put all your prices up by 20%. 20% of £10 is only £2, which isn't as much of a big deal as 20% of £50, which is £10. I found that in my garment business, putting my prices up by that much resulted in a bit of a shock for my customers. Which is why, if I got the opportunity to start again, I think I'd run my business as if I had already registered for VAT even when I hadn't, to avoid any shock price increases when I eventually did have to register for VAT. Of course, you could argue that when you do register for VAT, the cost of materials does go down because you're claiming that VAT back, and so your take-ins do sort of balance out a little, but this is just my personal opinion. If I had the chance to do it again, that's what I'd do. Point number 3 in things I do differently if I started my business again is I'd stop trying to do everything by myself. I mean everything, because I'm absolutely a control freak. I do my own accounting, I do my own manufacturing, my own packing, my own designing, and as your business grows, you will find it's far too much for one person to deal with. And because I do everything myself, I keep a lot of important information inside my head, which means I'd struggle to pass this information on if I ever did employ somebody. Fortunately, I have a very good support system where my family helped me out with things like packing. Eventually, I needed specialized people to help me with accounting. I also now employ somebody to digitize designs for me. By getting other people to help you, you might think that you're just giving away a share of your profits just to have more free time. But by not struggling to do everything yourself and outsourcing to other people, it gives you more opportunity to grow your business. If you don't use this new free time productively, then yes, it will be a waste. Or not, because sometimes free time is a big enough reward in itself. This next point might sound rather preachy, but point number 4 is just don't leave your taxes until the last minute. In the UK, your tax return is due every January, but you can submit your yearly tax return from the previous April. Especially if you use an accountant, try and get your tax return in before the January, because January is usually your accountant's busiest time and you're going to be competing with all their other customers. Looking back, this just seems so silly, but I used to think that paying for advertising was cheating, and I don't know why. Advertising on social media is so easy to do and it's so affordable. Like, I know we all want to grow our audience organically, but with social media algorithms constantly changing, it sometimes feels like you're just shouting into the void. By paying for ads, you're exposing your work to a whole new audience and will hopefully gain some sales from it. Point number 6 was a really tough habit for me to break. When I first started, I was selling a particular product that was doing very well, but over time I found that I lost interest in making that particular product. However, my audience was only interested in that product, and so I boxed myself into a niche that wasn't sustainable for my business. I know not everybody will have this problem, and it's probably something that's quite unique to me, but it is something I wanted to share, and I thought that maybe you could consider. Because you as a person are constantly evolving and changing, and your business should be able to as well. I guess this is where business planning comes into the equation. You can treat your business plan like a roadmap, and it'll give you some guidance and direction on where you need to go after each stage of your business kind of reaches its end or arrives at some sort of completion. You'll have a plan for the future and be able to move forward without fearing that your business is going to fizzle out. Which brings me to my next and final point, but it's also going to seem quite contradictory on what I just said. It's about finding the balance between not boxing yourself into a niche, but then also don't overstretch yourself by trying to take on too much at once. When I first started embroidery, I started making funny patches exclusively. And then a friend of mine asked me to embroider on baby clothes. So I started embroidering on baby clothes. And then somebody else asked me for workwear, so I started embroidering on workwear. And before long, my whole brand became really muddied and nobody really knew what I was about because I was just trying to do too much. I also got stuck with a bunch of stock I couldn't shift because my main audience was only interested in funny patches. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's fine to introduce new products, but try and make sure those products are in keeping with your brand. If you offer too much too soon, then it becomes confusing for your customers and you might end up losing your customer base and your audience. So that basically covers all I wanted to say, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you're a business owner or you started trading or whatever, and you've got some experience, some bad experience, or some little hints and tips that you'd like to share, please leave them down in the comment section below, because I think it would be really cool for other people to read and see and learn from. And now before I go, there's one last thing I need to show you. Ta-da! Sooty got a haircut! Yes! You can tell he's a poodle now and not just a ball of fluff. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you for watching my video. Like I said, the giveaway is going on my Instagram page, so if you want to check that out, that would be really cool. But for me and Sooty, bye bye!